You realize the reason why women do this whenever they go upstairs? I always thought that you guys did that just to look like cute and elegant when going up and downstairs. No, it's so you don't trip and bust your ass. Obviously, you don't step on your own. And so,
Swear to God, I cannot believe a 22-year-old discovered this. More so than, all the men designers I ever encountered in fashion. We cannot even put a slit on the dress or skirt. We need to walk.
But my day-to-day walk is more like this.
that's your day-to-day
This
walk.
is my day-to-day walk.
Yeah, and how's it on the red
And
carpet?
then this is my red carpet walk.
We're not sitting around, we're not standing around. Like, put a slit. There's a reason why. Like I recently saw Jenny from Blackpink. She's walking the red carpet or whatever. And like she could barely walk. She's actually looks like she has bound feet. Things that we've done away with. Like Chinese people have done away with bound feet. And you motherfuckers are still putting us in bound feet situations. Like what the this is why I really hate men designers, because you have no sense. And the mere fact that you always say like, oh my mom this, oh my grandmother,
But on top of storytelling, the way you make women's wear is also something to look up to. Well, where I saw the same, but some people said that men design women's wear the way men think women wants it, but women design women's wear the way women actually want it. But that's not the case with Taylor. Taylor grew up with his mom, aunt, and grandmother.
This is the that I hate about men in women's spaces, because you're invalidating the women's experience. Because no matter what, with the grandmother, the auntie, or the mother, it's still not your lived experience. That's the thing that you cannot grasp when you are a man critiquing women's wear. You have not lived in women's clothing. The fact is, like, so many men designers have not lived in women's wear, so you do not know the lived experience. That's the thing that you can understand. So yeah, you could be creative, but the clothes that you are making are not functional. Especially like the men who are putting on the runway. Do you know that women are getting assaulted left and right every single day? And that's the thing that is so upsetting with this narrative. Oh, the auntie, the grandmother, so he's special. No, he's not special. At the end of the day, he still has the same perspective. And I see the misogyny, because this is the that men designers think. Feeding that bullshit to ignorant, impressionable young girls and women that is women empowerment. You male critic, like, wear a dress, wear a skirt before you start talking about women's wear. Like, you have no clue, because in your misogynistic mindset, in your normalized how you perceive women, you think that we are setting pretty, that we don't run around do stuff. I hate to break the news to you, we do, and we will kick your ass pulling up our skirt if we need to. If you keep pulling that of not putting a slit on a dress or skirt. It seems I have ruffled some feathers. It's not the first time, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time. I made this video yesterday discussing men in fashion. And in context of the misogyny that's systemic in the fashion industry, I want to address it.
This morning I woke up, I saw this video. She tagged me in it, and the video talks about how men...
2 points. One is, I tag Ryan because I don't believe in talking behind his back. And I've been called out for not tagging people if I use the content. And the second point is, it's never really about Ryan. It's just like, he has the clip that he said this. So I kind of remember, and I like to show receipts of when people say things, so you can understand that I'm not just making up. If you see the original video, I said men. I never call out Ryan. I never call out the designer. I was very explicit in this. Because when it comes to misogyny in the fashion industry, it's not singular to Ryan or this designer. It's a whole, collectively. I don't know how many of you are following mine. If you are, if you go see my IG stories, there is a section that I call fashion discourse, where I bring all the uncomfortable conversation within the fashion industry that people don't talk about. Because as someone who's been in the industry for over 30 years, there's a lot of things I've heard. So I'm bringing the uncomfortable, really quiet conversation up at the forefront. Just, making it entertaining so you could pay attention.
And the video talks about how men designing women's wear.
Interestingly enough, Ryan, it wasn't just about the male fashion designers, it's also about the male fashion critics, which you're part of. So you kind of cherry pick my narrative to kind of spin woe is me kind of thing, which I don't really enjoy, I don't really like. Because unlike you who made this quick video, I spent 13 hours making that video. That's less than 2.5 minutes. So when you say that you want to be a fashion journalist, so for me, a fashion journalist is be fair and unbiased, and doing your due diligence. Do you see what I mean about skew point of views about women's wear and all this stuff? Because I've seen quite a few of your videos. They all coming from a very normalized misogynistic point of view. Trust me, I'm twice your age, and I've been around the circuit, in the fashion industry quite a bit. If you don't know my credentials, I've been in the fashion industry for over 30 years, for over 50 brands. I've been around the circle, the block, whatever you want to call it. I've been around a lot.
And the reason why it tagged me in...
And everything I said, even regarding to you, in the video clip, I could say like half a dozen men out there that I can name that it's applicable to.
His women's wear design approach is pretty refreshing, because in a world where men...
This take is so laughable to me, because it's only refreshing to you because you're young and you are new to fashion. And this is the shit that I'm trying to call out, because you are so stewed in misogyny that you don't even realize that you're doing it.
I just keep saying that I'm a fanboy, of other men and women spaces, and just keep like...
This take is so laughable to me. I hate to break the news to you. You are a fanboy of men designers, especially this designer, TB Magoo, whatever his name is. You're a fanboy by your own admission. Not only have you said it in the video, but you also made this comment, that you would stand by Tibby's work until you die. That is the basis of fanboying. Because this guy that you follow, I can say that he was at the place that you are now, but he has expanded his knowledge. So he's able to learn and grow.
And the reason why he tagged me in the video is because
by tagging you and letting you know that there are people like me out here that are teaching fashion from a different perspective, that are not delivering it in the nice, sweet old lady kind of voice. So if you're willing to learn, I'm here to teach. Because this guy, I could recommend him because I know that he has grown. So I'm hoping that, Ryan, you would be like him and you will grow because you are a follower of him too. And I could tell you, I don't really like this guy in the beginning. When he had his old account, I had a lot of discourse with him. With this new account, he has grown a lot. Someone that's engaging, interesting, and even though he has biases and stuff like that, he acknowledges that he has biases. So I kind of want you to get to that point where you acknowledge your biases, like this guy.
Also actively trying to get rid of this intrinsic misogyny.
And your point of view of misogyny only relates to this kind of thing is where your normalized misogyny comes from. Whereas I said that misogyny is also this, from a woman's perspective, who isn't just a shopper of women's wear, but also I've been a designer, I worked in the industry, I've worked with a lot of brands. And I said in the video, where are the 11 body silhouettes? Because in the conversation of size inclusivity with women, this is the point that I'm trying to bring across.
Or there are a lot of people that are down to learn, and it's
okay, so you're down to learn 3 lessons. 1, keep an open mind, critical thinking kind of stuff, right? So 2, before you speak out of turn about someone, go looking to see what they're about. 3, which should be obvious, do not just listen to a male's perspective. Go talk to some women. Simple as that. Because I said in the video, the way that men in fashion are normalizing naked on the runway, it's the same reason I call misogyny, because you as a fashion critic, you don't talk about this kind of topic, whereas women, they are just offended left and right. It's what the
Number 2, men's comments on women's bodies and clothes.
And to attack me because I don't have credentials, which is true. I didn't go.
This is where you have skewed point of view, because you came in very hot with this take of I'm attacking you. Because I said, for someone who's doing fashion journalism, based on what credentials, I'm asking you, what credentials do you have? And then you're defensive because you don't have any credentials. It's not my fault. And the way you edit this video about me, because you are skewing my narrative and, cutting out them asking about your credentials as a fashion journalist. Because you said that you want to be a fashion journalist. It comes off very misogynistic, by the way.
Just keep saying that I'm a fanboy, of other men and women spaces, and just keep as if that's all I do.
The simple fact that you are so triggered by fanboy, when I say you fashion fanboys, meaning inclusive of all you male fashion critics, but you in your own headspace of feeling attacked, you only see yourself in the situation. Then I ask you a question. Do you even know women? And this is not pertaining to the fashion designer. This pertains to you as a fashion critic or as a person who's speaking about fashion, women's wear. Do you even talk to women? Because I also said in the video that what you guys are doing is mansplaining fashion to women and also gaslighting us in women's spaces. And let me just say, these dime a dozen fashion critics, I want to yeet them until next Thursday of 2075. Hopefully I'll be dead by them so I don't have to hear this drivel. These little diary of the mouth talking about women and analyzing women from the entitled misogynistic point of view.
Number 2, men's comments on women's bodies and clothes.
Very rarely do I think that Carey Mulligan eats.
Who the invited him to come into women's spaces talking about Carey Mulligan? Then he talks about Bradley Cooper the most basic way. Oh, he's wearing navy. No, we have eyes. Are you not getting how misogyny works? And is this why people are so fascinated by fashion? Because it's presented to you in such low IQ kind of way that it's for dummies. It's really for dummies. Because his takes are so dumb. Unlike this guy who's giving you a background of the brand's history. And do I agree with all his content? No. And that's where fashion discourse comes in. Now do you understand the nuance between good fashion content and from me, who is not only a woman, but also with someone with a lot of fashion knowledge.
5 facts to know about Lanvin. First is the Lanvin logo, which happens to be the cutest story in the fashion industry. Because the logo represents Jean Lanvin and her daughter. It was inspired by this picture of 2 of them wearing the matching outfit when they went for a ball in 1907. Lanvin is currently the longest standing French fashion house in operation. It was founded in 1889, which means it is 134 years old. If you see a daisy on something Lanvin, there's actually a good reason for it. It was Jean Lanvin's favorite flower. The name of her daughter was Marguerite, which is Daisy in English. Jean Lanvin loved color, so she had her own dye factory in France in the beginning of 1920s. She actually loved this shade of blue that is actually known as Lanvin blue. Last but not least, she was actually the first Parisian designer to launch her made-to-measure clothing line for men in 1926. The more you read about her, you realize that she was not just a designer, she was such a savvy businesswoman. You realize how fashion works, that it's not just clothing, it's perfumes, it's furniture, it's so many different things. A true pioneer of fashion.
Male designer is displaying. I've never done that.
Which is exactly what you're doing right now to me. I'm sure you made this video in defense of yourself because you felt attacked, and that wasn't the intent. But I'm sure that that's how you felt, and I'm sure your followers might have tagged you, and you felt, defensive to your followers. I get it. I totally get it. So I know I'm twice your age, so that I get where you're coming from. But also, I am also going to speak from my side to give you the counterpoint of how things went about and how you, like so many young people who are my followers, they get triggered by something I said, not delivered the way that you are used to, because I have no to give in this platform at all, because I know my knowledge, and just the fact that I'm here just because I'm sick and just providing information and content teaching about fashion, trying to be productive with my time, even though I'm sick. And I get, some of my followers, they see me as this fashion villain because that's the persona that I project. I get it. And I use to my advantage, calling things out that I have no to give about, because I don't care if people cancel me. Actually, today was supposed to be my day off, but you made this video, so now I have to make a counterpoint. Just to let you know, I'm not out here begging for money. I actually have a personal styling business. If you want to learn about my personal style services, you can go check out my YouTube video about it. The other thing is, a lot of you come into my DMs asking about two things. So I created two 15-minute chats so you could pick my brain how to get started in these two things. One is to pick my brain about your personal style aesthetic and how to get started. And the other one is to pick my brain on how to get started in the industry. And I do have clients, as you can see. Yes, I created a lot of free content to help people. But I'm not going to do slave labor if I don't feel like it. Because believe me, if you coming in my comment section trolling me with the stupid I'm just gonna stop. I told you I have no to give. And because the toss to troll me across 3 platforms, I'm gonna start charging, for some of the information I'm sharing with you guys. That's the way it's gonna work. So go to my site, jodyjan.com, and book a session with me today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to follow my YouTube channel for personal style tips and fashion industry hot takes.